I ended up rewatching Hot Fuzz.
Great
I
film.
had such a good time with it.
Great film.
It's so tight. Every single shot, camera whip, line in that film is dialed in to a T in the best way. There's not a single thoughtless thing that's spoken. Everything is like innuendo, referencing to something later.
Every single bit of that film is working hard to make you laugh.
Yes.
In a different way.
Every
It's
single
not
person.
It's not all lines. It's we're going to have a little bit of, as you say, visual wit. We're going to have a bit of cinematographic wit.
Yeah, and I never realized how pacey it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. From the get-go, it's like Sergeant Angel, how's the hand? And it's just like straight into the next one. Then before you know it, it's like train, cut, peace lily, thing, form, model village, and then he's there.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't lose you for the whole time it's on. And it doesn't feel exhausting to watch either.
No, it's incredibly quick, and therefore that's why it stood the test of time, because on repeat viewings there was so much in there.
It's still good. So I remember loving it as a teenager and watching it a few times as a teenager, and I've not seen it in such a long time. And then rewatching it as an adult, it's exactly as good as I remember.
It's
It's
brilliant.
still really funny.
Love that. Love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. I think I've seen it once, really loved it, but like need to go and rewatch all of his stuff.
I actually think Shaun of the Dead I've seen too many times.
you think?
That now I watch it and I'm like, you know every sound of a film, like somebody opening a door and you're like, yeah.
You could act it out as a play.
Totally blindfolded.
Yeah. There was a long time where I could do the first 30 minutes of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone as a kid, like line by line, because I knew it that well.
Start.
Yeah.
Can you do it now?
No.
On the spot?
No.
No, a little bit.
Oh yeah, I could go for a while. I've not tried in a while, but you know, like when
Bet
you're...
you were fun as a kid. Hi,
Hey James, do you want to play football? No, I'm doing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The first 30 minutes. Join me at 1:20.
It was like Francois Bourgeois. Yeah. Join me for
Francois Bourgeois. Yeah.
hello everyone. Harry Potter. I'm here to do the Harry Potter thing. I was going to say that Shaun of the Dead, great.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz, great.
Fantastic.
World's End,
Yeah.
didn't like it at all.
I saw it on, I think, like Sky Movies as a kid, and I don't remember.
As a kid, it came out in 2013.
Sorry.
How old are you?
I think romantically about my teenage years. So yeah, I guess it would have been 2013, and I've not thought about it much since. Yeah.
It really goes on a nosedive in the last third as well.
What was even the threat of that? It was like aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
But the thing was that they weren't scary.
Right.
So in like Hot Fuzz, you've got like the real,
Hot Fuzz
the
is
real
scary.
murders with the real.
The tricks where like people walk past the camera and the guy in the hood is standing.
Right.
That got me, and
Yeah.
I knew it was coming still.
And then obviously Shaun of the Dead is actual zombies.
Yeah.
There's actual gruesomeness in it. But in the World's End, there's just like these sort of blue aliens that are kind of like squidgy, and it doesn't really, and it feels very forced.
No one talks about that film either.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
brought up at all as a film that because people bring up Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz a lot.
Yeah, but no one will bring. I mean, in terms of his most talked about films, it's like people love Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
No one talks about The World's End. People do talk about Scott Pilgrim because that.
Yes.
I like Scott. I like Scott Pilgrim.
Scott, I do too. Yeah.
I had
It's
to
really
come
cool.
around on that. It took me about.
I've seen that a few times. Yeah.
Third time I got around. I enjoyed it.
That's the thing. It's one of those films
Yeah.
where, and it's quite a lot to tell someone. No, you've got to watch it 3 times before you find it funny, which is quite
No,
a
what
weird
commitment,
thing to
yeah,
say.
yeah.
But I totally agree. It will just be so quirky and irreverent. It will just completely go over your head the first time you watch it. But it's one of those things where I've seen clips of it on YouTube and go, God, this is really brilliant.
Yeah.
Like,
And people didn't really comprehend it at the time, and it's like
No.
that was a real sort of cult gem there.
100%. Yeah.
But then The World's End after that didn't make any sense. Didn't like that.
He went all Hollywood. Edgar Wright went all Hollywood for Baby Driver.
Well, because he spent years doing Ant-Man. Do you
Yes.
remember that? He didn't
Yeah.
get Ant-Man, and then Baby Driver, which was
But Ant-Man had loads of Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. The new film by Edgar Wright. You can see his fingerprints all over many sequences in Ant-Man with Michael, what's his name? Pena.
Oh
Like,
right, yeah.
The way he was like, hey man, like you gotta go talk over here. And then the guy said, hey, he's the same as
Yeah,
Big
the
Thing. The quick
visual
whip
bit.
editing, yeah.
But with Baby Driver, I liked it. I think actually on second viewing, I liked it a lot less. I think the first half of it is really like quick, whippy, all things we were saying, witty, well edited, sharp. And then the second half really, I don't think Edgar Wright works very well when he tries to like go for the jugular and like be a bit more serious and almost like build to like a climactic ending. Like
He's we know him for being really dry in English.
Yes.
And he went American. And I think I agree. Like I like the film.
And the whole thing with John Hamm at the end of Baby Driver, it's like, are you like doing a parody of like, or like your comment on the classic like American diner, like tense showdown, or are you just trying to do your own very generic version of it? Like, which one is, you know?
That I felt like there was a lot of hype for that movie going in. I mean, it also had loads of big actors in it, but I remember the marketing and like the general buzz amongst people who went to go see films. Oh, Baby Driver, it's gonna be so good. Even people who hadn't seen it yet were like hyping it up, and the people who had seen it were like, it's amazing, go see it. So I had a really high expectation in my head, and I was a big fan of Edgar Wright, so I was right to do that. But then I watched it and I was like, I like it, but it wasn't the second coming, and I'm not shouting about it to the heavens. I much prefer his really English.
Yeah.
Because they are so
actually
English.
And last year I went and watched Spaced. Have you seen Spaced?
No.
That's the TV series.
Yeah, I've heard
it's all
really good.
It's all in there. It's all like the film references, the visual wit. What I like about Spaced is that it's so English and it's made on a budget for like Channel 4. Like he's working within the confines of an early noughties sitcom. We know it's filmed on like really low grain footage, but he's able to achieve humor and like big film references.
I think English people are particularly really appreciative of stuff that is accurately English. Like, it's why I have such a fondness for the Inbetweeners.
Oh God!
And like, I'm trying to think of something else that's equivalent, or like, just, like even like Blackadder or Fawlty Towers, which aren't necessarily English, they feel really English. And I think because we have so much, and there's nothing wrong with it. We have so much Americanized culture thrown at us constantly. There's nothing wrong with it, but it can be just very like, this isn't real life. When someone accurately depicts English culture, it's like, yes.
The Inbetweeners is funny you bring that up, because I actually went back and rewatched that a lot recently. I hadn't rewatched it in years, probably like 10 years. And I was really worried going into it, thinking, is this going to have dated really badly?
Yeah.
Are you thinking, because
exactly what
the
I'm
humor's
wondering.
really coarse and stuff, you think, is this going to just not gel now?
Yeah.
Actually, it's still really, really funny.
Yeah.
First of all, it just captures like just schoolboy humor so well.
Just sort of tired, comprehensive school.
Yeah,
it's not
tired,
Hogwarts
generic,
or Eton.
Yeah, and also all the houses are just like that bland suburban cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And it's that age where you've got like the horniness and the hormones and the
dumb
chemicals of an adult, but they're basically still children.
Yeah.
in their heads, and so much of what they say, and just the stupid blunt sexual remarks.
Yeah. That
accurate.
had never been captured before, ever. And made funny in a way that wasn't.
And that's the thing. I was thinking, is it going to be really mean looking at the back of my mind? Like, you shouldn't say that. But actually, the joke the entire time is on them.
Yeah.
Well, especially with take Jay's character. Jay, who overcompensates for his.
He's always the fool in the end.
Yeah.
Pretty much, isn't he?
He has this bravado saying he slept with loads of women. He's making up all these stories. He's like, and he's saying really vulgar things like, I did this to this one and this to this one.
Shagged a bird, didn't I?
Yeah. But actually, Will McKenzie
Will.
is there to always puncture that and make the joke on him, because he's like, well, when did this happen then? That's ridiculous. That sounds offensive.
They're like the 4 Sex and the City girls, but for like English lads. It's like, which one are you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Jay. That's Will.
Yeah.
And like I got Neil all the time growing up.
Really?
'Cause,
Neil?
Tall and slightly dopey.
I know watching it again now, I was like, that Jay, I knew so many guys like that.
Yeah.
They were just talking like, then I did this, what you want to do with that girl? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But so still very funny and not offensive in the way I thought it would be. It's much more about them. The joke is on them. I mean, the classic episode of The Inbetweeners is when they go to the caravan park. And these guys are always talking about
so
sex.
English.
Yeah.
Like an American would have no idea what to do with that. You said
What's
caravan
Canberra
park.
What's caravanning in Canberra Sands?
Oh, we went camping in Yosemite National Park. Give it to it. Like, they just wouldn't. It's not the same.
They go to this caravan park, and obviously they're talking about sex the entire time. And then this girl comes up to Will, snogs him and says, I want you to take me outside. I want you to sleep with me. And it's so funny because they talk about sex the entire time, but he is incapable when an actual woman comes up to him and says, I want you to have sex with me. He's like, how about we skid? How about we just slide on the floors? It's liberating. Come on. And that's the joke there. It's not like, but it's about their inability to.
What are the other things that really English, normal and English? Because there are other things, but I can't think of them that people.
The Office, the original Office.
The original Office, 100%. Yeah.
As much love as I have for the American one, which I'll talk about, at some point soon, because I've been rewatching it. it's just completely different. I really actually get annoyed when people try and compare them because it's just it's so useless. It's so why does everything have to be a comparison?
Yeah, the problem is that the first season of The American Office is taking
one,
from the English, so people who watch the English one get quite irritated at the Americanized version of that, because I think you are quite protective of it. I was 100%, and then I was like, okay, I've been told to watch this now for the 4th time. I must detach the US
you know what I
Office
do when I tell people to watch the US Office is don't watch season 1.
Yes.
You start season 2.
Yeah.
Because then it actually sort of sorts
That's what I did. I watched the first episode of season 1 and had a bad taste in my mouth, went straight into season 2, I think, and then I could appreciate it for what it was.
Yeah, the British Office is, that excellent, mundane, dry, but a faint glimmer of hope in there as well. A faint glimmer of
romantic
warmth.
thread that keeps you going.
Yeah. And God, I sounded so. Did you hear that? Yeah.
It's amazing that it has become the seed from which pretty much every modern, it's not just American, but American sitcom has come from. Like, you look at Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is modern. You see the DNA, which came from Parks and Rec, which came from the US Office, which came from the UK Office.
I think I actually got to a point where I think it's like in the late 2010s when there were still comedies being made that were trying to be like mockumentaries, and I was like, please stop. The Office was over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Now 20 years ago. Please stop trying to do the mockumentary thing. Like the bubble has burst now. It's over. It's done.
I like Parks and Rec, but they really there's no sense that anyone's actually making a mockumentary. It's like they just do those like weird looks to the camera, and it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
All of those.
Whereas in The Office, they actually build it in.
You can tell. Again, the US Office goes on for so long, it's not reasonable that they would be making a documentary for that. Whereas I love at the end of the UK Office, and they do the Christmas special, which are the last 2 episodes, the first shot is David Brent going, "Stitch up." That whole thing was a stitch up.
Yeah.
If they wanted to show all the shots of me being a dick, and you can tell like they really were core to that thing being a documentary. But anyway, the other thing that is so quintessentially English is Peep Show. And another thing that I can't even believe it took that long to come up.
Yeah.
Me and Talia are constantly watching that just passively. Yes. And we are laughing every single episode. The consistency of that, probably just towards the end, is so good.
There is so much truth in the way that dialogue is written. And you know what, it speaks for itself, because obviously Jesse Armstrong then went on to write Succession. I mean, wildly different, like hyper-American TV show, but
also really high quality. But
of course, but what I say about Succession is, if you look at the dialogue, some of that is Peep Show dialogue. It's just the same. There is so many elements of truth in Jez and Mark's interaction in the flat. Like one I absolutely love, and I often say to people, is it's just like Mark, because he's got the point of view shot, and he's like making some toast in the morning, and he just goes, butter the toast, eat the toast, shit the toast. God, life's relentless.
Just things like that. You go. And I love the way Peep Show shoots like the supermarket and like walking through, and you see all the little like Maryland cookies, and English brands that I just go like, that is so just grotty East End, or is it Croydon?
It's
or
Croydon,
yeah.
The building they live in, the office that Mark works in,
JLB credit.
Yeah, it's just so depressing, so well observed. I remember when
it paints such a shit picture of England. It makes it look so.
But
awful
also
wherever they go.
in a way that kind of makes you proud.
Yeah,
so you're like, that's it. That's what it really is. I remember when Ricky Gervais was at the Comedy Awards in like 2008 or something, and he was either accepting an award or giving an award, and I remember him being like, why is no one talking about Peep Show? He was like, that is the funniest show I watch that all the time. So because Peep Show really is and it's still really a cult show. It got such small viewing figures. It ran for like 10 seasons.
9 seasons.
Series, really. Let's be very British.
Yes,
it's 9 series.
Not a season. And it doesn't change. It's still about the exact same things. The characters are, in a way, they're almost like South Park or Family Guy characters. Like, they don't change. The world just keeps happening around them. Like, they will just forever be those people. I close my eyes and I still think they are just in that shit flat doing things. It's weird that they David Mitchell and Robert Webb have said, we can't do Peep Show forever because it's about young people and being young. And I've always been like, no, I disagree. You could do that show forever and I'd find it funny. Even if they weren't living together, I'd love it.
It's like Waiting for Godot. It's like I always feel like there is a room somewhere and Mark and Jez are just somewhere talking about something stupid, watching the news.
I believe those characters exist.
So the Inbetweeners, the British Office, and Peep Show are prime examples, and Spaced, as we began with.
I'm very proud of them because they are authentic to what English is.